Okay, so this is take four. I think we got the microphone working this time, I'm pretty sure. Welcome back to Morgellons discussion and microscopy videos. I'm your host, Jeremy Murphy, and today, man, it felt good to be able to walk around the block and not be limping too bad. I tell you what, if you ever break your leg, and I highly recommend against it, but if you do, just know that if you sit up in the bed for 2 months and put 200 hours into Cyberpunk 2077, you may have a hard time walking around the block without limping a little bit after all of that. So, yeah, got a couple of things I wanted to talk about, and I really want to talk about one issue that's been concerning me, especially recently. First of all, our petition reached over 300 signatures. Thank you, everybody who signed it. It does make a difference when you put your name on these petitions. The big petition, the Morgellons one that had almost 700,000 signatures, finally went over 700,000 signatures yesterday. So that's some great news. And think about that. That's a lot of people that care about Morgellons. Second thing I wanted to talk about was I redid my website, and so it should be loading a lot faster. But also on the front page, I put the most frequently asked questions that people post to me about Morgellons. So if you have any ideas or any other ones that you want to hear in particular, go ahead and leave them in the chat box over there, or shoot me a message directly. You all know how to find me. I'm Real Morgellons on Twitter, and if you go to Cointree, cointr.ee/Morgellons, just about every social link I've got is on the Cointree page there. cointr.ee/Morgellons. The final thing I want to go into before we talk about what I want to talk about today is on July 24th at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I'm going to be able to interview Mental Health Master right here. Y'all remember he made a video about Morgellons. I made a response video. I had to split it up into two parts for some reason, but he's been gracious to set aside some time on July 24th to appear on the show. And I tried to put together a list of questions about mental health issues and concerns and conditions that he may be able to respond to. If you guys have any questions in particular you want to know, send them to me this week, and I'll see if I can't fit them in there. I don't want to give them too many list of questions before the interview, but I think we're just about there with the content. He may not believe in Morgellons. I don't know. As far as I know, he doesn't, and that's his prerogative. His specialty is mental health, not Lyme disease. So, everybody has mental health conditions, especially Morgellons patients have to go through so much trauma, potential ostracism, and hopefully he's going to give us some ideas on how we can help to cope with those and make it through. And so that leads me to what I want to talk about today is framing the situation. Having Morgellons can be a terrible situation, when you've got the sores on your skin and nobody knows why. None of the antibiotics are working for very long. They may temporarily make the situation better, but they don't ever cure anything. That can be a dire situation. And so what I want people to understand is that there is a way out of that, because really it's not the Morgellons. The Morgellons is just a condition that results from the real problem, which is the infection. As far as we know, it's associated with the Lyme disease and the relapsing fever. I do think that it's very potential that Morgellons could be associated with syphilis, and that's what the research indicates as well. When you hear anybody talking about those 16 scientific studies, it says that in there that Morgellons could be associated with syphilis. So you should know that if they don't tell you. I want to talk about these online groups, because when you get inside of them, a lot of them, first of all, every single one of them wants the numbers. Okay? They want you to be in that group because they want you to advocate for their cause and their purpose, regardless if their cause and their purpose is going to be healthy for the outcome of your condition. You know, when you've got Morgellons, you've got a serious problem going on. It's Lyme disease, and that disease can cause all sorts of debilitations, complications, and potentially even a death. And so you really want to be inside the best kind of mental frame of mind to deal with that, to be able to go, okay, I got it, but I need to get a Lyme disease doctor because they're specialists and they can treat it responsibly, and then I don't have to worry about flying blindly. You know, first thing is to offload that responsibility of treating it onto a responsible physician. If you have Morgellons, you're probably dealing with Lyme disease or tick-borne relapsing fever. But a Lyme disease doctor is going to be able to elicit those infections, determine if that's what's going on, and be able to treat you responsibly for it. So the notion that you have to exist inside some kind of online group without any kind of treatment, that's wrong. If you get inside an online group, they need to turn you right back around and say, hey, here are the Lyme literate doctors in your area who can maybe help, or here's a form you can fill out to find one. What I'm afraid happens is that when people get in these online groups, they start to get more and more and more desperate because they're told, it's drilled into their head that the CDC's abandoned them, everything's going to hell, and they got Morgellons. It's this terrible situation. Nobody cares about them. And they're told over and over and over again that a lot of people commit suicide. And I think when they do that, when these online groups hammer that into people's heads, it gives them the idea to want to commit suicide. Because you can have Morgellons and you've got two choices. You can wake up and go, okay, today's the last day of my life. I'm going to go walk around the block a few times, see what I can do, and, enjoy life. Or you can go, the CDC sucks. If it weren't for them, I'd be fine. Everything would be normal. This is bullshit. You can do that. But I think if you do the latter consistently every day for like years and years and years, you may want to start considering suicide. I really do. I think that kind of group think pushes people over the edge. Besides giving them the ideas that they don't need to be having. That, look, there's another way. Instead of waking up every day and blaming the CDC, you can wake up and find yourself a Lyme literate doctor and get the condition treated responsibly. And then try to live the rest of the life that you have enjoyably, if possible, if you're not under too much stress. And life is stressful. I mean, my biggest problem isn't the Morgellons, I run a business. I run a web design and a hosting business. I love what I do. But, I have a hard time paying the bills because everything's getting more and more expensive, So you do what you got to do. But anyways, I don't think I could make it if I had to wake up every day thinking that the CDC was the sole source of all my problems and thinking that a lot of people who are like me, who have the same skin condition that I have, are going to end up committing suicide. I think honestly it's these online groups filling people's heads with garbage that accomplishes that more than anything. So look, if you've got Morgellons, stay away from the online groups. Don't get yourself inside that constant negativity, thinking that everything's a piece of crap, and if the CDC just apologized, then everything would be normal. Because I think it's that kind of thinking that also drives people to start taking crazy therapies like drinking bleach and freaking... anyways, look, the CDC... they may not have everything right, okay? But the point is that there are doctors you can see who are licensed by the state, who are legal to practice in your area, who can treat you for the Morgellons skin condition. If you've got sores on your skin and you got fibers coming out of them that you can only see with the 60 times microscope, then, they know about that condition and they can treat it. But you don't have to go without treatment. If you need some support and financing, trust me, I understand what that's like. Life is real expensive, and I'm not able to afford it. But there are resources for you, and I'm going to put links in the description below for financing for people who have Lyme disease. And you really should pursue those. There's the Limelight Foundation helps kids with Lyme disease. So if you've got that going on, those resources are in there for you too. But I think I don't think there's anything good about waking up every day and blaming somebody else for your condition. Yeah, things suck, but it's really up to me to get out there and kind of make things happen. I'm the one that's got to get the new clients. I'm the one that's got to put the soundproofing back up and start doing some more auditions. I'm the one that's got to take responsibility for the rest of the life that I've got to live. And I want to make it. I've had 3 close friends commit suicide, and I'm not like that. I don't feel that way. I don't feel like that's the way I want to go, because I see a mountain of potential ahead of me and I want to climb it. I want to go to space just on a normal flight to the other side of the planet. Why not? But I'm not going to do that if I get in this rut where I think that I'm not going to be able to go anywhere because of the CDC. Forget that noise. All right. 3 friends of mine who committed suicide, when they did that, that affected me deeply and painfully every single time. I cried bad, because these were my best friends, my roommates, and I don't know what drove them to that. I have my suspicions, but that's not going to happen to me. That's not the way that I want to go. I want to maybe lay down and go to sleep when I'm 475 years old, but not today and not next week, hopefully. What do you guys think? Let me know. Leave a comment down below. I love to hear what you guys have to say. If you have any questions for Mental Health Master coming up on July 24th, shoot me a message. You can leave a comment in the live chat there also, or just comment on this video. I appreciate everybody sharing these videos out. Please tell your friends to subscribe. Let them know that we are producing factual information about the Morgellons condition. And also check out our website, www.morgellonssurvey.org. Like I said, we just changed it up. I just changed it up. It's a FAQ on the front page of the most common Morgellons questions people ask me all the time. All right. Hope you guys are having a great weekend, and we'll talk to you soon.